Well, that was the fiery speech of none other than the Prime Minister of India, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, on the floor of the House in Rajya Sabha. Once again, taking on the opposition, questioning their conduct. And in fact, a lot of emphasis from the side of the Prime Minister on the development of the states. Well, the timing is absolutely correct. Look at the kind of attack that we have seen coming in from the Congress party. The speech comes on a day when you have Karnataka Chief Minister Mr. Siddaramaiah, who's protesting, talking about the North-South divide. And there's a direct response that has come in from the Prime Minister himself. Payal with us, my colleague with us on the broadcast. Payal, a lot of thrust on Viksit Bharat, which has been the narrative of the Prime Minister. His entire schemes, the programs, the welfare schemes that we've seen in this country, he spoke about that. And a direct attack against the Congress, that they are trying to divide the country on the caste lines based on regions.
Well, absolutely. You know, the way in which the leaders of the Karnataka Congress are camping here in the national capital protesting against the central government is something the Prime Minister has obviously spoken about. He said there's no basis of trying to divide the country on regional basis. India is one country, and of course that the welfare of every country should be ensured. So the Prime Minister was, Anusha, drawing from a personal example and saying that as a Gujarat Chief Minister, he had a long struggle with the centre demanding funds for the state of Gujarat. They did not receive any kind of support despite the fact that it had met a natural calamity like the earthquake that you saw in the year 2000. But despite that, he did not give up his fight for the state of Gujarat, and he continued to fight for the state of Gujarat. So there should be cooperative federalism, and competitive cooperative federalism is something which the Prime Minister really highlighted about. Of course, taking a pot shot of the Congress party, and the Congress party is divide and rule policy. So it was a very emphatic Narendra Modi again speaking on a similar lines that what we saw in the Lok Sabha, where he in fact, bashed the opposition out, questioned the unity and said that this was nothing but a paper document, it's just a paper tiger which would never growl. So the attack on the similar lines coming in, and this is Narendra Modi's last speech in the run-up to the 2024 elections, because this is the last time that he's speaking in Parliament. The day before yesterday he spoke in the Lok Sabha, today he's spoken in the Rajya Sabha.
Please stay with us on the broadcast. Our senior editor Pallavi Ghosh also joining us on the broadcast. Pallavi, the key takeaways for you.
Well, I mean, very much on the lines on what he said inside the Lok Sabha, but he also, with the Prime Minister, one thing which very much keeps in mind is whatever is a present altercation or issues which come up, he gives a point-by-point rebuttal. Of all the, the speech he gave inside Rajya Sabha today, I think the one which really for me stood out was very much keeping in mind the scenes we saw played out in the national capital today at Jantar Mantar, where you had the chief ministers from Kerala and Karnataka very much protesting here and accusing the central government of not giving them funds or not even keeping their concerns in mind. And a large number of all Karnataka Congress leaders were very much here. So he kept on responding to that. He made two quick points. Ye mera paisa, hamara paisa, tera paisa. What kind of a language or a mindset is this? That's what the Prime Minister said. And the second important point, he said that for a long time I served as the Chief Minister of Gujarat. Even I had problems in getting funds from the UPA government. There were ministers in the UPA who didn't even want to take pictures with me because it would land them into trouble, but I never had this kind of a mindset. So I think that was a very point-by-point rebuttal to the entire North versus South debate, which we are seeing being played out in the last few days.
Absolutely. Aman Sharma is also joining us on the broadcast. Aman, tell us more, the key takeaways from you. I think what stands out is how the Prime Minister has taken on this narrative, the North versus South divide, and he questions the opposition parties that as a nation we are one family. How can we even talk about the allocation of resources in this manner?
Well, absolutely. I think the very, very strong attack coming from the Prime Minister, especially on divisive issues, which he said, are being propped up by the Congress party. The statement of the brother of the Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka, or be it Karnataka now saying that it is not getting adequate funds, that it is their money. The Prime Minister saying that the opposition is trying to invent new issues to divide the country. In fact, we saw a very agitated Prime Minister on that issue. He had also raised this in the Lok Sabha. But we saw that in the Rajya Sabha today, PM even has strongly raised it even more, saying that such attempts to divide the country will not be tolerated. I think also the very strong attack that the PM made on the reservation issue, saying that Congress has always been against reservation. He cited the statement of a letter written by former Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru to state chief ministers, saying that Mr. Nehru was never in favor of reservation. The Congress did not even award Bhim Rao Ambedkar the Bharat Ratna, and he said if it was not for Bhim Rao Ambedkar, the PM has said, maybe the SC and STs would have never got reservation in the country from the Congress. His point that the Congress won't cross 40 seats in the upcoming Lok Sabha elections. In the Lok Sabha, we saw the Prime Minister say that BJP will cross 370. Now he has said that Congress won't even cross 40 seats. That will be even lower than 2014 and 2019. He also strongly raised the point of cooperative federalism, as Pallavi was saying that when he was the chief minister, many union ministers did not even give him an appointment to meet him in Delhi because they were afraid of the Congress leadership. He cited the case of former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh not coming for an aerial survey of Gujarat after there was a massive flood in the state, and in fact chose to fly in his plane directly to a South Indian state and not land in Gujarat. So Mr. Modi is citing all these issues to say that cooperative federalism is something that his government stands for. He took the G20 to every state in the country to showcase it. He invites foreign leaders to various states, not just Delhi, but he has not been a recipient of that in the past. I think a very strong political attack, a very strong attack also on the issue of, as you were saying, the North-South divide bogey, which is being raised by some in the Congress. The PM strongly countering that in his address to the Rajya Sabha.
All right, I request my colleagues Aman, Pallavi and Payal to stay with us on the show. We'll continue dissecting the Prime Minister's speech and the message that he's laid out. As Payal pointed out, this is his last address on the floor of the House as far as this Lok Sabha is concerned.